Before May 10th, a silent war in your family ends, and the angel sent will choose a side. There has been a conflict hidden in the shadows of your home. Words not spoken aloud but carried in eyes. Choices misunderstood. Loyalty tested. Forgiveness withheld. Archangel Michael has seen the toll it's taken on your heart. The weariness you've been hiding behind polite smiles and late-night silence. You have cried when no one noticed. You have stood still in storms you never caused. And now, heaven is moving. This silent war that has twisted love into resentment, that has sown suspicion where there should have been support, is reaching its divine conclusion. Before May 10th, the spiritual atmosphere around you will shift. A line will be drawn. The angel assigned to your bloodline will descend, not with vengeance, but with judgment. One side will be covered in light. The other will face the consequence of their manipulation, deception, and emotional sabotage. You have been patient. You have been silent. And that silence has been misread as weakness. But Archangel Michael says, silence has power. Stillness invites heaven. And now, your stillness is summoning justice. You were not meant to carry the emotional weight of everyone else's drama. You were not created to absorb the projections, the guilt, the accusations that weren't rooted in truth. A time is approaching, swiftly and without delay, when this entanglement must unravel. It is not simply a family issue. It is a spiritual separation. Those aligned with divine order will be shielded. Those aligned with control, bitterness, and ego will find themselves exposed. The angel that is coming will not be silent. The angel will choose, and the choice will change everything. So, stay alert. A shift may not come with thunder, but it will come. In words unsaid, in hearts suddenly opening or hardening. Pay attention to the conversations that occur in passing. Listen to the ones who suddenly speak peace. Watch for the one who reaches out after long silence. That is the sign. That is the angel's move. Your role is not to fight. Your role is to discern. You are being lifted above the drama, pulled higher for divine clarity. The war ends not by force, but by spiritual authority. And that authority is now descending. Archangel Michael says, your atmosphere is tense, your home has grown heavy, and your spirit has begun to feel the pull of a battle you never signed up for. But heaven has not been quiet. Heaven had been watching. Heaven had been preparing the angel. And now, the countdown begins. Something sacred is about to shift. Before May 10th, divine justice will touch your bloodline, and the angel sent forth will make a choice that breaks cycles, reveals truth, and sets the record straight. You need to be ready. You must not ignore what's stirring in the unseen. The angel that stands near you now is not passive. This angel carries a sword of separation. This angel carries clarity. You have prayed, even when your prayers felt like whispers hitting a ceiling. You have asked God to reveal the hearts of those around you, to uncover what was disguised as love but was rooted in control. And heaven listened. There is an urgency in the spirit realm now. There is a countdown ticking in the background of your every moment. The angel will arrive, and when it does, what has been tolerated in silence will no longer be tolerated in the light. This is not a warning of destruction. This is a prophecy of alignment. And alignment often brings destruction. Some relationships will no longer hold. Some conversations will mark the final chapter. Some relatives will show you who they really are, and when they do, believe them. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your household, sword in hand, watching every heart, weighing every motive, preparing to tip the scale. The silence has spoken long enough. Now heaven will speak. And you, chosen one, must prepare yourself not to run, not to beg, not to retaliate, but to rise. This angel is not here for revenge. This angel is here for realignment. Because where there is divine promise, there must be divine order. And where there is divine order, there must be divine protection. You will not remain entangled with what was sent to delay you. You will not be drained by what was sent to distract you. This is your spiritual confirmation that the war ends soon. You must let it end. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. There is a hush around your name, a silence that isn't empty, but heavy with intention. It's not just quiet, it's calculated. You felt it, haven't you? That strange sensation when you enter a room or join a call, and the atmosphere shifts ever so slightly. The way someone quickly changes the subject, how another avoids your eyes, how laughter turns to tension the moment your presence is near. This isn't just your imagination. This is spiritual alertness. Your discernment is not paranoia. It is protection. Somewhere within your circle, a conversation is unfolding behind your back. It's being shared in shadows, whispered between those who once claimed to love you. They are not speaking openly. No, they prefer the cover of concern. The kind that uses your past to define your present. The kind that takes one misunderstood moment and stretches it into a narrative meant to weaken you. Someone thought they knew you, but what they've built in their minds is a reflection of their own fear, not your truth. This person, or perhaps a few of them, have confused your silence for submission. They believe your lack of reaction means they were right. But you've been watching. You've been listening without listening. You've heard things without them ever being said out loud. That's the gift of spiritual hearing, the language of the unseen. You feel what they're thinking. You sense what they're suppressing. You know when they smile with their mouths but curse you in their hearts. Archangel Michael says, this isn't a misunderstanding. It's a misalignment. You've been called too distant, too cold, or too proud, but those are labels given by those who are uncomfortable with your boundaries. What they don't know is that your distance is your healing. Your silence is your safety. Your restraint is your righteousness. Someone has decided to turn your growth into a threat, but it isn't you they fear. It's what your peace is revealing in them. Because you stopped playing the role they preferred. You stopped seeking their approval. You stopped explaining your spirit to people committed to misunderstanding it. And now, they are twisting your evolution into evidence against you. They're saying, you've changed, as if that's a crime. They say, you've been acting different, but they never once asked why. A silent war hath been building, not with swords, but with subtleties. Glances that judge, phone calls that exclude, questions that hint. It's been disguised as family tension, but it's actually a spiritual trigger. You have activated something in their soul, and rather than confront themselves, they've chosen to target you. What they don't know is that the angel sent to you already stands in the midst of this. The angel hears every word, sees every intention, records every motive, and while they think they are getting away with half-truths and passive aggression, heaven is weighing every syllable. They've uncovered a fragment of your story, but only a fragment, and they're building arguments around a sentence, never realizing the full book was written by God. They know your old chapters but have never seen your new covenant. This emotional disruption isn't accidental. It's orchestrated, and it's reaching its boiling point. Heaven will not let it continue unchecked. Archangel Michael whispers, do not let their noise drag you out of alignment. Do not respond to misreadings. The angel chooses soon. You must be still in this moment. You must not stoop to their level. Their words are sharp, but your spirit is shielded. What they meant for confusion, God is using for clarity. Let this moment uncover who was truly for you. Let this disruption reveal who was secretly hoping you'd fall. Before May 10th, you will see the face behind the silence, the mask behind the smile. And when you do, let peace be your answer. The war is loud, but your discernment is louder. Type "The angel chooses truth" in the comments if this confirms what you've been sensing. Blessing code 313 is circling your household. This is not just family tension. This is not merely a disagreement over words or expectations. What you are experiencing is far deeper. It is a spiritual clash, not just a personal one. The atmosphere around you has become charged because what you carry is too sacred to be tolerated by spirits that have not yet been purified. This isn't about what was said. This isn't about who stopped calling or who never apologized. This is about the anointing on your life confronting the dysfunction in your bloodline. Archangel Michael says, "This war is not of flesh and blood. It is of principalities, old patterns, and inherited curses trying to reassert control. The tension you feel is not random. It is because your very presence threatens the spiritual agreements your ancestors made in silence. You were not born to continue cycles, you were born to break them. And that assignment has made you a target. You didn't choose this war, but your light did. Because light cannot enter a room without exposing what's been living in darkness. You are that light. You have stepped into your alignment, into your calling, into your healing, and in doing so, you've made spirits uncomfortable. Not everyone in your family is at war with you, but some are at war with themselves, and your peace is provoking them. They cannot stand how you keep rising after being overlooked. They cannot explain why doors keep opening for you, why people respect you, why you seem to glow even when you're going through battles they know nothing about. And so, they whisper, they project, they frame you as changed, cold, arrogant, or disconnected. But heaven knows, your distance is divine. The angel assigned to your family has seen this for generations. The jealousy disguised as concern, the manipulation disguised as tradition, the favoritism passed off as culture. And now, that angel has drawn their sword, not to harm, but to divide. Not all division is evil. Sometimes, it is sacred. Because unity built on dysfunction is not unity, it is spiritual bondage. And the time for bondage has ended. You are under divine protection now. You are not meant to explain the favor on your life. You are not required to tone down your truth to make others feel comfortable in their stagnation. You are chosen. You are set apart. And this conflict, as painful as it is heaven's confirmation of your distinction. Archangel Michael whispers again, this isn't personal. This is prophetic. The generational strongholds in your family know who you are, even if your relatives don't. That's why they resist you. That's why they twist your motives. That's why they try to make you the scapegoat. But God has already made his choice, and the angel sent will confirm it before May 10th. A line will be drawn, not to destroy, but to liberate. The angel is not coming to take sides based on emotions. The angel is coming to take sides based on alignment. There are conversations happening now in spirit, not between people, but between legacy and destiny. And your name is in the mouth of God. You may feel alone, but you are not. Heaven is watching, and the conflict you are facing is the friction of elevation. You are outgrowing the cage. You are shedding the skin of who they thought you would be. You are stepping into the full expression of who heaven designed you to become. So now, see it clearly. This family battle is not punishment, it's positioning. The angel is separating wheat from weeds. The silence is about to break, and you will not be the same. Type "This is not personal." IT is prophetic in the comments if you're claiming your divine identity today. Blessing code 777 now rests upon your calling. Heaven is patient but not passive. When silence turns into sabotage, when peace is weaponized, and when a chosen one is surrounded by subtle warfare, there comes a moment when divine intervention is not only necessary, it is inevitable. And that moment is near. Archangel Michael stands with his sword partially drawn, waiting only for the final shift in spirit. Before May 10th, a line will be crossed. A decision will be made. And the angel sent will not hesitate. This warning is not to invoke fear. It is to provoke readiness. Because something is stirring. Someone who hath been quiet, watching from the sidelines, harboring envy behind fake smiles, is preparing to make a move. You have felt the emotional static. You sense the buildup. What you didn't know is that a plan has been whispered in hushed corners. A narrative is forming that seeks to position you as the problem before the truth is revealed. They may reach out in the coming days. Expect a sudden message. A phone call wrapped in false peace. A check-in that feels oddly rehearsed. This is not reconciliation. This is reconnaissance. They are gathering information to validate their version of the story. They are looking for something to twist, to spin, to use. Archangel Michael says, do not give them access to your light simply because they arrive with familiar language. You are not required to explain yourself to those who misread you intentionally. You are not obligated to clarify your heart to people committed to misunderstanding it. These next few days are sensitive in the spirit realm. A misstep, a wrong response, or premature vulnerability could open doors you just closed. Guard your peace. Guard your name. Guard your energy. Someone is already speaking. They are not lying outright. They are bending truths. Telling parts of your story without context. Presenting you as distant, ungrateful, or changed, hoping others will agree. But what they do not realize is that the angel sent has already taken witness. Heaven doesn't need screenshots. Heaven doesn't need phone recordings. Heaven sees the heart. And this angel is not only watching, this angel is deciding. This is a defining moment in the war, and you must resist the urge to fight it in your flesh. You may want to respond, to clear your name, to reach out and plead for understanding. But this is not your battle to manage. This is heaven's to settle. Archangel Michael warns, your response determines your realm. Stay in alignment. Do not come down. They may even try to provoke you into an emotional outburst, because if they can trigger a reaction, they believe they can shift the narrative. They want proof that you're unstable. They want you to say something they can repeat. But they don't know you are not who you used to be. You've matured in the furnace. You've learned to let stillness speak. You've discovered the strength in surrender. In the next 72 hours, you may hear something that tries to pull you into the battlefield. It could be a story relayed through another person, a message laced with emotional manipulation, or even a public display meant to challenge your silence. When it comes, and it will, take it as confirmation. The angel is near. The enemy always gets louder when heaven gets closer. So stand still. Don't respond out of urgency. Don't defend yourself in desperation. Let your posture remain royal. Let your words remain few. Let your spirit remain unbothered, because your restraint is your roar, and your silence is your sword. The angel is watching, and the angel is about to choose. Type "Heaven fights for me" in the comments if you refuse to be baited into chaos. Blessing code 117 surrounds your name like a divine firewall. You are standing at the edge of a divine threshold. One move forward could unlock your breakthrough. One word backward could reopen old warfare. What happens next depends not on how others move, but on how you remain. Archangel Michael is no longer merely observing. He is shielding. But for that shield to remain effective, you must stay under it. That means protecting your peace even when provoked, guarding your silence even when falsely accused, and choosing spiritual posture over emotional impulse. There is something sacred about not responding. Heaven does not need your defense. When God has anointed you, you are not required to prove yourself. When the angel has chosen your side, explanations are unnecessary. The temptation will be strong to speak, to confront, to demand fairness. But none of these actions will bring you the victory heaven has already assigned. The battle is not won by louder voices. It's won by higher alignment. Let them speak. Let them gather. Let them twist your name. What they failed to understand is that every word uttered against you is already falling under the weight of divine truth. You don't have to answer to people who lost access to your spirit a long time ago. You don't have to clarify your soul to those who only seek to dissect it. The ones trying to stir the atmosphere are spiritually dehydrated, and you've become the well they cannot draw from anymore. Archangel Michael says, "Let your stillness be your strategy. Let your silence be your sentence." This is not cowardice. This is confidence in God's timing. Do not confront the one who misrepresents you. Do not plead with the ones who ignored your side of the story. Do not allow your spirit to be dragged into a place it has already graduated from. Instead, stay grounded. Stay in the presence of peace. Light a candle and whisper your truth to heaven, not to humans. Journal your emotions. Walk with angels. Let the divine handle what your words could only complicate. The spiritual realm is not looking for warriors with swords, it is looking for vessels who trust. Your job is not to expose the liar, your job is to embody the truth. Be mindful of your energy. In the next few days, people may come offering connection, reconciliation. Let's talk. But discern the difference between true healing and tactical manipulation. If they come in peace, it will feel like peace. But if they come to stir confusion, your spirit will know. Trust that knowing. You are not cold for honoring your boundaries. You are not bitter for being unavailable to dysfunction. You are wise. Heaven is your refuge now. You are being guarded by forces you cannot see. The angel walking with you does not need help. It only needs space. So make room. Make room for protection by releasing the urge to control the narrative. Make room for blessings by letting go of burdens you were never meant to carry. Make room for peace by shutting the door on chaos. You are not being asked to win the war. You are being asked to stay out of the battlefield. God is not asking for your voice. He is requiring your trust. Let your stillness be your shield. Let your unbothered presence be your loudest message. The more you hold your peace, the more heaven multiplies your protection. In moments of weakness, whisper this prayer: God, remind me that my silence is not weakness, it is worship. Remind me that my restraint is not fear, it is faith. Remind me that when I step back, you step in. Type "LET Heaven Fight for Me" in the comments if you choose stillness over struggle. Blessing code 404 now shields your emotions from spiritual amber. You've waited in silence. You've remained calm while storms formed around your name. You've resisted the urge to retaliate, even when everything in your humanity screamed for justice. And now the shift begins. The atmosphere is responding to your alignment. What once looked like a breakdown is being revealed as a breakthrough. Heaven does not forget who remained faithful in affliction. Archangel Michael stands over your life now, not just as a protector, but as a herald of your elevation. You are not who they said you were. You are not the labels they quietly whispered in rooms without your presence. You are not defined by past wounds, misunderstood actions, or isolated events. You are the revelation they didn't expect, the restoration they never saw coming. The storm they thought would break you has only built your wings. And now, you rise. This is the turning point. Those who once questioned your value will witness your visibility. Those who once misjudged your silence will now hear the sound of favor echoing through your life. Not because you proved them wrong, but because you allowed God to prove himself right through you. You're not vindicated by arguments. You're validated by elevation. What was once overlooked is now being crowned. They thought you were fragile. They thought your distance was detachment. But it was protection. It was preparation. What they misread as pride was actually preservation of purpose. You weren't avoiding them. You were aligning with him. Heaven had to separate you in order to strengthen you. Because where you're headed, not everyone can follow. You are not rising for revenge. You are rising for revival, and it begins with you. Archangel Michael says, the flame they tried to extinguish has only spread. The light they rejected is now illuminating the whole room. They will try to act like they never doubted you. Some will pretend they supported you all along. Others will go silent, too ashamed to face the truth of what they tried to do. Let them. Your victory does not require an audience. Your restoration is not a performance. It is prophecy fulfilled. There's a divine radiance on you now. You've been transformed in secret. You've grown in the shadows. And now the unveiling begins. Do not shrink back. Do not dim yourself to make others comfortable. Do not apologize for the anointing that heaven chose to place on your life. You carry something sacred, something weighty, something rare, and it's time to walk in that identity fully. You are walking out of spiritual warfare into spiritual warfare reward. The angel has chosen, and you are the one under divine cover. That doesn't mean others are punished. It means you've been positioned to lead where there was confusion, positioned to carry healing where there was hurt, positioned to be the one in your family who breaks the chain. What the enemy used to isolate you, heaven is now using to elevate you. What was meant to discourage you has deepened your discernment. You're not weak. You're wise. You're not cold. You're consecrated. And the people who thought they knew you will soon realize they only knew the version of you that was still in hiding. But now you're visible. Now you're walking in light. And that light cannot be hidden again. You've passed the test of silence. You survived the season of misunderstanding. And now, heaven opens a new chapter, not written in defense, but in dominion. Type I rise unbothered and undefeated if you're stepping into this empowerment. Lesson code 505 wraps your future in divine confidence and boldness. You have endured what most wouldn't survive. You've walked through a battlefield no one could see, dodging emotional arrows wrapped in tradition, guilt, and false peace. But now, something holy is emerging. Not just a shift, a prophetic culmination. What began in whispers is ending in revelation. The angel has watched, waited, and now moving. And with one divine act, the silent war ends, and truth is ushered in. Archangel Michael declares, the separation is complete, the choosing is done, and now the fruit will follow the root. Don't be surprised when peace arrives quietly, not with trumpets, but with clarity. It won't always come through an apology. Sometimes peace comes when the chaos stops knocking. Sometimes the miracle isn't reconciliation, it's release. Some people will walk away without explanation. Let them. Some doors will close without noise. Let them. That is the angel's hand drawing sacred lines. You are not being abandoned, you are being anchored. A divine reversal is underway. The pain you carried in secret is about to birth public peace. The angel has chosen, and you were not overlooked. The heavens have watched how you stood still in the storm, how you held your tongue while your name was dissected, how you remained faithful even when falsely accused. Now, all of it is turning into wisdom, into favor, into divine reward. The tables are being set, not for your enemies to be punished, but for your purpose to be witnessed. Someone in your family will come forward soon. Maybe not the one you expected, but truth will spill out of a place that once carried silence. The angel will use even the least likely person to confirm your heart. It may be a cousin, an elder, or someone who once ignored your side. But their words will carry weight. And when it happens, you will know. This was not human persuasion. This was divine activation. The truth didn't need defending. It needed time. You may feel emotional in the days to come, not because you're breaking, but because you're releasing. The weight is lifting. The air is clearing. And the person you had to become just to survive is now ready to thrive. The war didn't destroy you. It developed you. And now, your hands are open to receive what couldn't reach you while you were surrounded by spiritual debris. This isn't just about peace with others, it's about peace within. The divine transformation begins with the way you see yourself. No longer wounded. No longer waiting for validation. No longer fighting for a seat at the table of people who didn't honor your presence. You are the table now. You are the shift. You are the inheritance. Blessings will now arrive in forms you didn't expect. Restoration through new connections. Clarity through surprising confirmations. Opportunities that bypass the people who once blocked you. Divine favor doesn't ask for permission. It moves with power. And the angel that once stood silently by has now begun rearranging what once felt stuck. This is the final test before your elevation. Stay humble, but do not shrink. Stay kind, but do not yield your boundaries. Stay open, but do not reopen wounds. You are walking into a new spiritual status, one that doesn't need to be announced. It will be seen, felt, revered, because heaven is now making what was once invisible undeniable. Type the war is over. The peace is here if you receive this transformation. Blessing code 828 now activates peace, clarity, and purpose across every relationship tied to your destiny. You have not reached this moment by accident. This message found you because heaven needed to remind you that you are not crazy, paranoid, or overreacting. You are spiritually awake. And once you are awake, you can never go back to sleep. Your discernment has been tested, refined, and confirmed. But now it's time for more than observation. Now it's time for spiritual action. The angel has moved. The silent war is ending. The dividing line is drawn. But to fully step into what has been assigned to you next, you must respond. Not react. Respond. Why? Because response is agreement. Response is alignment. Response is what tells heaven, yes, I heard. Yes, I believe. Yes, I choose your way. Every prophetic message creates a door, but that door remains shut unless someone walks toward it. This is that moment. This is that door. What you do next determines how quickly your peace, clarity, and restoration will unfold. You are being invited, not commanded, to activate the next phase of your journey. So how do you do that? You begin by declaring agreement in the Spirit. You say out loud, not just in your mind, what you believe God is doing. Speak it into your atmosphere. You say, I come into agreement with divine justice. I release control and receive spiritual protection. I choose peace over performance, truth over tolerance. Words create waves. Waves shift realities. Realities unlock destinies. And your destiny is waiting on your declaration. Archangel Michael says, many hear the message, but few respond to it. Many witness the shift but hesitate to step into it. You are not many. You are chosen. That means your response cannot be passive. This is not the time for spiritual neutrality. This is a moment to publicly mark your alignment with God's decision over your life. Let your response be bold. Let it be personal. Let it shake off the residue of past silence. Write it. Type it. Shout it if you must. Not because heaven needs to be convinced, but because your soul needs to remember that you said yes. If this message has pierced your heart, if you felt the truth of these words in your bones, don't scroll away. Don't dismiss it as coincidence. This is confirmation. This is your spiritual burning book. And now, heaven is waiting for your reply. Declare now, out loud or in writing, I align with the angel's choice. I release the war. I receive the peace. When you type it, when you speak it, you signal heaven that you are ready. Ready for resolution. Ready for redirection. Ready for release. It's not about being seen by others, it's about being seen by God. Because He honors those who move when He speaks, and He moves for those who move in faith. Your comment isn't just a phrase, it's a key. Your declaration isn't just words, it's a doorway. Heaven is waiting on your response, not your perfection. Just your surrender. Just your yes. So type I align with the angel's choice in the comments now. Not later. Not when you feel like it. Now. Because delayed obedience is still disobedience. And in this spiritual season, delayed response means delayed release. Let your actions signal that you have crossed the threshold. That you are no longer just watching spiritual battles unfold. You are stepping fully into your divine authority, your protected identity, and your heaven-chosen path. Blessing code 1111 now seals your agreement. This code marks your transition. This code opens the floodgates. Your response hath been heard. The angel has recorded your name. And now, the shift begins in full. It's done. Heaven has moved. The silence has spoken. The angel has chosen. And you, child of divine light, are no longer in the middle of the storm. You are now the calm after it. Take a breath. Feel that. That's the beginning of clarity. That's the lifting of weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. You survived the misjudgment, the emotional sabotage, the spiritual warfare disguised as family concern. And now, you walk forward, not as a victim, but as a vessel of revelation. Archangel Michael declares, they tried to bury you in confusion, but you were a seed. And now, you rise. You are the evidence that silence is not surrender, it's strategy. That being misunderstood isn't the end, It's the beginning of being rightly revealed. Every time you chose peace over retaliation, you were aligning with the angel's path. Every time you stayed quiet when you could have unleashed truth like thunder, heaven recorded your obedience. And now your record is calling forth reward. You are not broken. You are not bitter. You are not bruised by the battle. You are built by it. The things they said about you no longer have spiritual authority. The labels they tried to attach to your character have been stripped away. The shadows that once followed your name now dissolve in the presence of divine fire. God is rewriting your reputation, not with words but with witness. People will see the difference. They'll notice the glow. They'll feel the shift in your presence, and they'll wonder what happened. But you won't need to explain, because revelation doesn't mean erosion. Your peace will preach louder than any sermon. Your stillness will speak louder than any defense. Say it aloud now, and let your soul remember it. I am not a victim. I am the revelation. I am not the chaos. I am the clarity. I am not the past. I am the prophecy fulfilled. You were never meant to remain tangled in dysfunction. You were born to walk in divine separation. And that's what this moment signifies. You are crossing into a new era, not just emotionally, but spiritually. A place where you no longer apologize for your alignment. A realm where your name is honored in heaven and no longer tossed in the mouths of the small-minded. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. You rise, not with vengeance in your heart, but with vision in your eyes. Not to prove them wrong, but to walk fully in what's rightfully yours. Not to retaliate, but to radiate. Your aura has changed. Your authority hath been activated. You are no longer reacting. You are reigning. And you no longer need anyone to understand your path. Because the one who sent you, the one who shielded you, the one who appointed the angel, understands every step you take. This is the final affirmation. You made it through. The war is over. And you never even had to swing a sword. You are the proof that heaven fights for those who stay grounded in truth. You are the living reminder that the angel doesn't choose based on popularity. The angel chooses based on purity. Hold your head high. Walk boldly. And remember, you are not the one who lost. You are the one who was protected. And now you are the one who will be elevated. Type I am the revelation in the comments if this closing word settles your soul. Lesson code 144 has now sealed your transition. You are free. You are safe. You are chosen. You are rising.